I just found a coffee bean on the floor of my own office. Shame that I had to go to waste. Quarantine Chronicles number 15. 1-5. I got some smudges on my glasses. I hope you all enjoyed your super secret surprise yesterday. That is your movie night starter kit. If you haven't used it yet, I would love to see a picture of family movie night at your house. And maybe we'll feature it in an upcoming episode, depending on how many we get. But it was good to see you all. If you didn't get a movie night starter kit and you want one, send me an email. Chances are we just didn't have your address. But that doesn't mean we weren't thinking about you. So if you wanted a care package and you didn't get one, make sure you send me an email and we'll make sure we take care of that sooner than later. Got a joke for you. What do you call a pile of kittens? A mountain. Don't forget about our Zoom call next Wednesday, May 13th. Everybody's invited. You're going to see your friends there. You're going to see your leaders there. Anybody who's anybody in the teen ministry will be there. You don't want to miss it. So that's going to be Wednesday, May 13th at 7 p.m. We're going to be able to see each other. We're going to be able to play some games. It's going to be a good time. Some of you are going to be surprised that some of the guys in our teen ministry have not been shaving their faces. We've got some quarantine beards growing in the teen ministry. It's a shame to say that we got teens with much better beards than me. Kevin is still the champion though, let it be known. I want to get back into Romans chapter 8. We're going to be in verses 9 through 11 today. Verse 11 is going to rock your socks off your feet, so we're going to get into that right away. It goes like this. But you are not in the flesh, but you are in the Spirit, if indeed the Spirit of God dwells in you. That is through salvation. Now, if anyone does not have the Spirit of Christ, he is not his. And if Christ is in you, the body is dead because of sin, but the Spirit is life because of righteousness. Check this out. Verse 11. But if the Spirit of him who raised Jesus from the dead dwells in you, he who raised Christ from the dead will also give life to your mortal bodies through his Spirit who dwells in you. Excuse me? I'm reading that again. If the Spirit of him who raised Jesus from the dead dwells in you, which it does if you are saved, then what? He who raised Christ from the dead, God will give you life to your mortal body through his Spirit who dwells in you. Okay, first thing I want to point out, the whole Trinity is in this verse. If the Spirit of him who raised Jesus from the dead, so that is God who raised Jesus from the dead, fast forward, will give life to your mortal bodies through his Spirit. You got God the Father, you have Christ the Son, and you have the Spirit. All of them are interplaying in this one moment. But what are they doing? They are saying your flesh is dead and you have been made alive into the righteousness of God through the Spirit. So in this conflict between flesh and spirit, salvation comes in and kicks your flesh out of the game. Your spirit is now the unanimous victor because of salvation. Because the Spirit of God who raised Christ from the dead, which I don't know if you remember that happened on Easter, also gave life to you through salvation. So we're looking at Easter, okay? Jesus has been dead for like a couple days. He's laying there, and then the Spirit of God comes through, gives life to him. Jesus comes out of the tomb, starts meeting the disciples all over again as the resurrected Jesus. That Spirit, that power lives in you through salvation. And so how do we lead into this thought, right? This is what verse 9 says. We are not in the flesh, but we are in the Spirit, if the Spirit of God indeed dwells in you. That same thought of the flesh has been kicked out of the game because of salvation is right there in verse 9. We are not of the flesh, but we are of the Spirit because of salvation. So what we were seeing in verses 1 through 4 of, is the flesh going to win? Is the Spirit going to win? Is the flesh going to win? It's a close game. Salvation comes in and kicks the flesh out. No more flesh. It's all Spirit. Because verse 10, if Christ is in you, the body is dead because of sin, but the Spirit is life because of righteousness. We saw that in John chapter 6 when we were at snow camp. Jesus is saying to the disciples in John chapter 6 verse 63, it is the Spirit who gives life and the flesh profits nothing. The words that I give to you are spirit and life. Okay, so we not only do we have flesh and spirit, we have death and life. This thing's got layers. It's like an ogre. What we get to see here in Romans 8 is beyond just flesh versus spirit. It is death versus life. And so as salvation comes in and it kicks the flesh out, it kicks death out with it. So the Spirit not only defeats flesh, but it also defeats death entirely. We who are saved, will have a bodily death. Yeah, everybody's gonna happen. I hate to break that to you. I don't know if you know that yet, but spiritually, salvation makes you invincible. And that's all there really is to say on the matter. What we get to see Jesus do through salvation is so much bigger. So many more layers than, yeah, I mean, I would really prefer to go to heaven when I die than hell. It's way bigger than that. Someone said it like this, that the gospel of salvation is kind of like the ocean. You have this shoreline where you can go to the beach and little kids can play in the water, but as you get further in, it gets real deep. And there are parts of it that we just don't understand yet. Salvation is crazy, and I am very excited to continue to go through Romans 8 and really unpack what's in here. The richness of our salvation is way bigger than I can even explain. But Romans does a pretty good job, so we'll keep it that. In a little bit, we're gonna play Would You Rather once again. Our friends are gonna be hit with some Would You Rather questions, and you don't wanna miss it. Let's see how they do. All right, Hadassah, today's game is Would You Rather. It's making another comeback.
I thought it was gonna be some sort of math game. I was like, yeah, I'm dropping out then.
I would never ask you to do math. Trust me. All right, Hadassah, here is question number 1. Would you rather all of your t-shirts be one size too small or 2 sizes too big?
2 sizes too big, because then I can put on some meat on my bones. And then if I'm cold, I can just put the shirt over my knees and just huddle into a little ball.
Wow, that is we are starting off strong here. Yeah, I think that's obviously the correct answer to this question. Having a one size too small, you know, it just gets too constricted.
It's like Baby Huey.
I'm not sure I totally get that reference, but I respect that.
Look it up. It's a fat baby wearing small clothes.
Fat baby wearing small clothes. Okay, you'll love to see it. Hadassah, this is a very strong start to your Quarantine Chronicles debut.
Too big, I think.
2 sizes too big? Why is that?
Just because I don't know, like you can actually like fit them instead of like it being too small on you and like being like really tight and like it would just be like extremely uncomfortable.
Those tight shirts would make you look buff though. So Steve, you'd go with shirts too big rather than too small. So here we go. Question number 2. Would you rather your feet grow for the rest of your life or your hands grow for the rest of your life?
That's a tough question. I'm gonna go with hands just because like you don't have to like keep getting like new shoes and everything. I'm okay with the hands getting big just because you don't really wear anything except for like gloves and like hardly ever you wear gloves. So like
that is true. Like you would constantly have to be replenishing your shoe supply.
shoes, yeah.
But what if it's like very incremental, right? Like what if it were only my feet go up like 3 sizes for the rest of my life? I think I'd be okay with that. Like I think I would take that, because if my hand were to go up like 3 sizes, that would be a little much. Is that Sarah over there?
Yeah.
Sarah! Sarah, what's happening? How you doing? So Steve, on virtue of not having to buy shoes, you would pick that your hands would grow for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's a good question. Probably my feet.
Why your feet?
I don't know, because then they would be stronger and I would be able to like jump higher because your feet are part of your jumping and stuff.
Okay.
And I already have toe thumbs, so I don't need anything done with my hands.
So I think, to me, the important element of this question is how much are they going to grow? If my feet are gonna grow from like a size 10.5 to like a size 20, I gotta go with my hands. And like I don't wanna have giant clown feet when I'm
But you wouldn't want to have giant clown hands either, would you?
Again, it depends on the speed of things.
I'm gonna be small, so my feet are definitely gonna be like smaller, average, because I'm also a girl. So my feet can't possibly grow that big. Just go barefoot, be a hobbit.
Wow! Hadassah, you are coming up with new and exciting ways to answer questions.
Have you never seen The Hobbit? They have like ginormous feet and they walk around barefoot 24/7.
That is an incredible point. However, that is also, they have like orcs in that world.
They have coronavirus.
You got me there. You got me there. That's a good one, Hadassah. Last but not least, number 3. Would you rather find $5 in your pocket right now or find all of the socks that you've lost over time in the laundry?
That's a great question. Probably the socks, because I have no socks, because I walk around with them outside with no shoes on and I get holes in them 24/7, so.
So you gotta get your socks back. You're running low on socks.
I usually just put them on on random feet. I'm like, okay, they're mismatched, random foot, don't care. I'm wearing shoes anyways, so I really don't care. I just need socks. Because I get yelled at for taking my mom's socks and my dad's socks.
Wow, so this thing would solve some family tension as well.
I'm pretty sure half of them are down the vent in my bedroom.
Someone get this girl some socks. That's awesome.
$5.
You'd rather find $5 right now. Why is that?
I don't know, it's just like finding like my socks isn't really that big a deal. Yeah, you can always like buy more.
You can't always buy more, but you can't buy them with $5.
Yeah. To me, like I really don't really care about my socks.
You're not a big sock guy.
No.
Do you just have like 15 pairs of like identical socks?
Somewhat, yeah.
I think I have 25 pairs of plain long black tube socks. You know what I mean? So if I lost half of those, I still have 12 pairs. So you would rather find $5 right now than all of the socks you've ever lost over the course of your life.
Yeah.
I dig it, Steve. Here we go. Last question. What is one weird thing that you've done in the quarantine that you wouldn't have otherwise done if not for the quarantine?
I'm gonna have to think on that. I guess like reading a book, because usually I like don't really read.
So you're reading books now?
Well, like I'm reading one book. I'm reading Never-Ending Story.
Nice. Reading books, dude. It's good stuff.
So you know how like yesterday was May 4th?
May 4th was the day before.
Oh, whatever. Same thing.
Okay.
Star Wars, I'm not a big fan of Star Wars, but I got bored and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do like how Anakin used to do his hair back in the old movies where he had his hair up and then he had one braid down. So I did that, and then I drew tattoos on my arms.
I was wondering what those were.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
This has been a whirlwind of a call, Hadassah.
I'm pretty sure it's been like maybe 2 days since I've called somebody.
Wow, so you're
Really social distancing there.
you are socially distant. Thank you to Steven and to Hadassah for playing the game, and thank you to you for watching the video. Make sure you don't forget about that Zoom call next Wednesday, May 13th. We'll be sending out the information for that within the next week in a parent email. So parents, I'm very sorry for how much your kids are gonna be annoying you in the next like 5 days. Well, we've already done like a month and a half's worth of quarantine, so how much worse could it really get from here? But that's all I got for you today. Tune in next Monday, and until then, stay healthy.